Hello. Hi, guys. It's Sunday night. Here we are. I'm just going through your comments. I can see some of you have been here for a little while and chatting to each other, which is lovely. I know the daylight saving does mess us up, doesn't it, Sunny? I know. How are you doing, Margaret? Hi, Rose. Hope you're well. Hey, Jenny. Hello, Jean. Very early in the morning for you. Goodness me. Nice to see you, though. Hi, Margaret. Margaret J and Margaret Gordon. Margaret G, Margaret J. We've got two. Oh, 4:30 in Florida. Goodness me. Yes, it is too early. I know you're going back in time, aren't you, Sean? Coming into winter. So who likes, what's your favorite season, guys? Because I'm just thinking, I really love the in-between seasons, spring and autumn, or fall, as our American friends call it. And I really enjoy that not too hot, not too cold kind of time. But I know when I was younger, I used to love summer, and I used to be all year so excited about summer coming, and I love the heat. And now not so much. As I get older, I'm not enjoying it. And I used to hate the cold, and I'm actually starting to not mind it so much. I like sitting in front of a nice warm heater in winter time, and I know that I can warm up if I, put enough blankets on or whatever. So what's your favorite time of year? Had sun today. Oh, raining again. Goodness me. Will it ever stop, Rose, down there in Victoria? We've been really lucky. We've had a few days of beautiful sunny weather, so I can't complain. I think you're right, Jean. I think it's going to go back. Yeah, exactly. So 12:30 will be better for you than 1:30, won't it? Yeah. Yeah, I hope it doesn't rain too, Margaret. You've had enough down that way. Yes, us New South Wales people are trying not to gloat because we have had beautiful weather for the last few days. Just gorgeous. Oh, it's going to be freezing next month. So, does anyone look forward to winter, or look forward to summer? How do you feel right now? Are you okay? Spring and autumn. Yep, I agree. Nairi, they're the best seasons. Ah, right. No, you're not yelling. I didn't take it as yelling. That's okay. Hi, Cindy. Nice to see you. Hey, Katrina. Hi, Sean. Oh, we've got all the people here tonight. Hey, Judy. Oh, look, it's lovely to see you all. All right. So I'm not going to say everyone's names, although, now that I've seen more names coming on, and I want to say hello to everybody, but I know we'll be here all night if I do that. So please just accept my my welcome and my hello, everyone. Okay, so it's been an interesting week. We've got lots going on here on the home front. And yeah, I'm looking forward to crafting because it's my escape away from all the other stuff that's going on, right? That's what we do this for, or that's one of the reasons we do this. If I had to ask you, why do you stamp, or why do you craft, or what, if you're not already crafting, what do you think you'd like about it? Yeah, I like spring too, Margaret. I think it's a beautiful season. I love, all the flowers coming out after winter. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's nice and warm up here, Rosalie. I'm sorry. I wish we could send some of that down to you and share it around. Yeah, so I know that I craft really more for the creative experience than anything else. I love being creative, and I love getting my ideas out and into the paper that I'm working with. And I love that. To escape, says Jody, give pleasure to someone else. Yep. Look, I know we're supposed to send cards. I'm not very good at that. I do it sometimes, but I don't send as many cards as I should, and I have a lot of cards here. I have more cards here than I'll probably ever use. Every now and then I go through and give some away to, like, maybe an old folks home, or we gave some to Ronald McDonald House a long time ago, and they sold them on to make a little bit of money. So yeah, sometimes it's nice to be able to pass them on to other people, or actually send them out, which is the real intention. And then sometimes I feel a bit guilty about that and think I really should be sending cards, not just making cards. Yes, escapism. I think everyone agrees that is the thing. Yep, creative joy, says Jean. Lots of reasons that everybody likes to craft. And I think they're really valid. That's why we come. That's why we're here on a Friday night and a Sunday night. Of course, the other reason is because we're like a little community here, and a lot of you, I see your names pop up every week, and I feel like I'm getting to know you. And I hope you feel the same way about me and to each other as well, because I know there's been a couple of friendships born here in the group, and it's really lovely to see that happening as well. So keep it up, girls. You are all awesome, and you help make these Friday nights and Sunday nights a lot of fun for me, and I hope you do for yourselves as well. So, yep. Nari says crafting takes her mind away from a lot of negatives, and that's why sometimes I say, let's make this a negativity-free zone, because we want to escape from all that other stuff, right? We don't want to think about that. So, I bet you 14 weeks with no crafting. However did you survive, Cindy? Were you in your caravan? Were you doing the rounds, traveling? Yes, exactly, Judy. That's a really lovely thing. I did pass on a few boxes of cards to a retirement place up here on the Central Coast. And they were really happy to have them. And so you're right. Quite often, a lot of the older residents don't have family, and so for them to be able to send cards, a handmade card, is a really beautiful thing. So that's lovely. Good idea, Sean. So Sean says she put two box short. I'll start again, shall I? I put 2 shoe boxes of cards on a Friday in the break room at work, and they're always gone by Monday afternoon. That's pretty cool. That's a nice thing to do with them as well. So there you go. Oh, okay. Oh, that's fantastic news, Cindy. Well done. That's fantastic. Does she live very far away from you? So you've been helping her out with lots of stuff, I imagine. Does you have grandkids with her? So helping to look after them maybe. So, but isn't that exciting? She has the all clear. That's really great. Really, really good. Okay, shall we do some crafting and some escapism, as we call it? All right, let's switch over to the other camera. And there we go. Oh, it's all crooked. So let me straighten that up. A little bit more. That's not too bad. There's a bit of shadow on the desk, but hopefully... Yeah, that's fantastic news. And it helps us relax. Exactly, Margaret. Exactly. You know what? The other thing is when I'm doing these videos, or actually doing my job, which is sometimes crafting, sometimes working on, Facebook posts or whatever, I don't think about all the other problems going on. And it's such a lovely escape for me as well. I really, really enjoy what I do. And I pretty much enjoy nearly all aspects of it. There's only a couple of things I don't like doing. But every job's got things that you don't like doing, right? Okay, I want to show you again, for anyone that wasn't with us on Friday night, we made these cards on Friday night. And I had a message from Judy Moody, to say that she showed me she had made these cards. So I was very excited to see what a beautiful job she did. And these were the 2 cards we made. So neither of them are difficult cards. They're both really easy cards. I was thinking about it afterwards. Is there such a thing as a masculine card? Because if you took the bow off, that could be a really great masculine card, a masculine Christmas card. I mean, obviously we could also use this beautiful bark paper. So it's like a bark design. Hang on, I'll show it to you. Here's a little piece of it left over from the other night. In fact, that is the piece that I cut off. But it's kind of like a birch bark look. And this would be great for a masculine card. I think we could do a lot with that. Yeah, so there you go. Oh, the blue was the easy card. Okay, this just goes to prove to me that you do not need to do a lot of complicated stuff to come up with a beautiful card. In fact, sometimes I think the simple cards are the ones I like the best, right? Oh, you forgot the splatter. Well, the splatter, did everyone see how we did the splatter? I mean, there's a whole bunch of different ways to get splatter. We used to have a tool that was called the spritzer tool that you put the markers in, and then you pumped the little air bag thing at the end, and it splattered out from that. But you can just use a water painter, loaded up with some ink and a bit of water, and then flick it onto your paper, which is what I did on this card. Okay, so For anyone who wasn't here on Friday, this is what we made, and you can go back and watch the replay if you would like to see how I made them. They're both really simple. The other thing is on this card, and you can't see it very well, but we've got these lovely little swirls. These are not available yet. They'll be available 1st of November for anyone who's interested. We've got a brand new set coming out called Fitting Florets, which is absolutely beautiful. And I've been playing around with the papers on those over the last few videos. So if you go back through the YouTube videos, you'll be able to see some of those. And I try and put at least one, if not both cards in the thumbnail so you can see what we might be making in each video. So there we go. But the other night I was going to use this one, and I didn't get to do it because we ended up doing stuff with the holly berry dies instead. So tonight I thought I would get to this, and I might do, we'll see. I'm thinking of definitely going to do one card with it. We might even do two because it's really, really beautiful. And it's actually, when it came out, it was a bundle with, it's in the catalog here. It's in the mini. It came out last year. Okay, so it's been around for a while, but it's still one of my favorite sets. And let me just tell you what page it's on. I always go to my index because all the stamp sets here are in alphabetical order, and that makes it so much easier to find. So this one's called Christmas Season. So where is it? Christmas Season. Why can I not see it? Or is it in the annual? Have I just given you guys a bum steer? I don't think I have, because I know the paper that matches it is here, Painted Christmas. This was the paper that matched, and that's on page 29. So let me have a look. Maybe I might be giving you guys a bum steer. Okay, so the paper's still in here, but the other set is in the annual catalog. So I did mess that up. Whoops. All right, so Christmas Season's in the annual, not in the mini, but the paper that matched it is in the mini. That's why I was confused. All right, so Christmas Season's on page 144 of this catalog. Here it is, right there. Okay, and we did have as well the seasonal layers dies. I think they're called seasonal layers. Let me have a quick look again. They're these ones. Yep, seasonal labels dies. I was nearly right. And those are here, seasonal labels. Okay, these are a fantastic die set. Okay, yes, you could easily make wreaths with this set, either with the stamps or with the dies, because they've got those leaves that you could do around in a circle and they would work really well. So yes, you absolutely could do wreaths. I'm not doing that tonight, but that would look really great. But the seasonal labels dies, there are 19 dies in this set. It's a big die set. And it comes in a smaller, the smaller size pack, but there are 2 sheets. Okay, so not one, but 2. And mine are all messed up, or hickledy-pickledy, as we like to say, for those of you who've been watching before. So they're all in here, but you can see mine are all over the place. And then there are these little guys that cut out, these ones cut out stamps that are in the set. There are all these labels, and this is why I love this set so much. You've got all these different shapes that you can work with. Okay, so that makes it a really awesome set. I'm going to put this one here because I think that's where it's meant to go. And then there's a second sheet, which has also got a whole bunch of dies and things on it. And so you've got pine cones, a big one and a small one. You've got some holly. You've got some, these all cut out various stamps that are in the Christmas. Well, I've forgotten the name of it already. Christmas Season stamp set. There we go. So really, really, if you don't have this one, this is a really, really good set. It's not going anywhere because it's in the annual catalog. Okay, so you'll be able to get this for a while. But the paper, if you love the paper, then that's got that beautiful, beautiful leafy kind of looks in it. That paper has come back, but it's only available in this catalog, so it'll go until the end of the year, but it's not in the annual catalog. So if you don't have the paper, that might be one you want to look at. Okay, so there you go. We've had a couple of things. So I thought to start with, we might do a really simple stamped card. All right, that would be a nice thing to do. And we can use the dies as well, but I might use the dies on the next card instead. And I'm going to pull out a few leaves that I really, really like. And something I really love to do is show you how easy it is to just do beautiful, beautiful things with stamps, ink, and paper. Okay, just that's all you need. You don't need any fanciness. It's just a bit of stamping. And I'm going to be stamping actually on crumb cake paper tonight. Crumb cake is such a versatile color. I use it a lot. Here's some pine needles. And I'm just going to go through, and there's some smaller pine needles. There we go. And we'll see how we go now. There are also some berries. This little guy here, you can put berries on that if you want to. Totally up to you how you do this. But yeah, they're really, really nice. Really love them. And we've also got little tiny dots. Some little tiny dots are always good. So I'm going to put those on a little block. And we've got a couple of A blocks here. So we'll stick those on there. And then I'm deciding whether, if I'm only going to stamp this, then I'm going to start with the greeting. Okay, but there are, you might notice, no greetings in this stamp set. Oh, that's okay. All right, Jenny, that's right. You left early, so it's nice to see what we made last time, right? Oh, wow. Are you already on holidays? No. Oh, you're leaving this week. That's right. Well, Michelle, we will miss you. What will we do without you? You know, I won't have anyone, you know, telling me where to send my cards. All right. So I'm going to pick there's a couple of stamp sets. Now, when this one came out originally, remember here, we're on page 44. There was another one that came out in the last mini together with it, and it was this Christmas to Remember. Okay, so this Christmas to Remember kind of was a partner to this one, and they've kept them together in this catalogue, even though they're not actually related. But if you're looking for nice greetings, this is a really great greeting set. Okay, so you've got really lovely fonts and things that go lovely with this one. But if you already have this one, or you're looking for another sentiment one, maybe this is a new sentiment that comes out on Tuesday. It'll be out on the 1st of November. It's called Framed and Festive, and it's a limited release. It'll only be available while stocks last, or until the end of the sales period, which is, I need to double check. It's not all that long. I can't remember if it's November and December or just November, but I will actually, let me quickly check that for you. I can tell you in a very, very short amount of time. So do a quick little look here. Somebody else probably has already got the answer by now, but I should have known that, and I don't. I have a new computer, guys. I'm so excited. I'm still learning to use it. I did use it for the first time on Friday night, and I managed to sort out the problem I was having with getting in the other night. I was a little bit late because I had struggled to get the sound right and, you know, get the copying period. So you guys can get this one. It'll be available until sold out, or the 4th of January, whichever comes first. Okay, so it's going to be available for a couple of months if we don't all buy it up on day one. But we'll see. So I'm deciding, will I use this one or will I use this one? This one does have some really nice sentiments. I think I just want a smallish sentiment, nothing too big. So I've got some smallish ones in here. Maybe 'tis the season to be jolly is nice. May this season be filled with peace and joy. That's really nice. And then this one is called Christmas to Remember. So that's this one here. Okay, so we've got friends like you make this season special. That's really nice. Shall we do that? That's friends like you make this season really special. What do you think, guys? I think that might be nice. Going back so I can see you all again. All right. I have never heard that expression, Jenny. That's just, it's funny, but it's just silly, isn't it? Ah, there you go. Never seen it. Well, there you go. So there we go. That's all right. Well, we got it sorted out now anyway. All right, so I'm going to start by stamping my sentiment, because if I'm going to do a simple stamping card, I need to have my sentiment first, so I make space for that. And in this case, I think I will put it right in the middle. So I'm going to do a portrait style card, and I'm going to be working with a few colors that I think look really lovely, with all these sorts of like holly and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to put this Friends Like You Make This Season Special, and I'm going to do it right here in the middle, just like that. And then we have, let's see what we have. Oh, it would really help if I put this on the right way, so let me just get that fixed up. All right, so I'm going to have like a couple of pieces coming in over the corner here. Stamping on crumb cake is actually really nice. It's or any of the neutrals. You know, you can get a really, really good effect by doing that. Now I'd like a different green to kind of offset that. So I'm thinking I could go with Old Olive, or I could go with Soft Succulent. What do we think? Do we like either of these? Maybe for my next one, I will start with Soft Succulent. And then I've also got these little fronds, and I'm thinking, well, you know what? Maybe Garden Green might be a better green for this. Oh, Megan said Old Olive, so you know what? Maybe I'll use them all. I don't know. So Garden Green is a little bit less, this is a bit more yellow to it, but that also will work. So maybe I'll do Garden Green for the pine needles. That might be good. Let's see. And I'm going to, so this is super, super simple. If you haven't done a lot of stamping and you're sort of still getting into it, you probably really enjoy something like this. It is really very, very cool, super easy, and you can make something look amazing just with a little bit of stamping. I like the pine needles. What do you think, guys? Do we like the pine needles? And then I think I want to do deciding. I'm going to add some little berries, and I'm thinking what color. Let's try Cherry Cobbler, I think. Garden would work too. Yep, I know. And it does. We did both. Because sometimes I just can't make up my mind. I'm going to throw those on. I didn't want too many of these. Just a few. I feel like I need something else here. Maybe another Soft Succulent in there. If we wanted to get a bit fancier, you could emboss your greeting in the middle. That would look really good. I think we're getting close. Now I've got some little dots here, and I'm thinking, what color will I do the dots? I think I'm deciding whether to do the dots in another green, in like maybe in the darker green, the little dots, or I could even add them in like Calypso Coral or something like that. What do you guys think? See, crumb cake is a great color to work with because it's a good, you know, it's a really good neutral. The other one, my absolute favorite neutral, to be honest, is grey granite. That's my favorite because it's somewhere in the middle. It's not really grey, it's not really beige, it's somewhere in the middle, and I really like that. So I'm deciding what, early espresso soft suede. That's a good idea. All right, shall we, who was first? Jean, you were first. So we're going to go soft suede. There we go. That would be nice. I agree. A good look. And I'm going to sort of just add them randomly around the place. What do we think of that? Does that look good? I think it does. You like that? Yeah. All right. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab myself a bit of sponge or a dauber, you know, whatever you've got handy. And I'm going to go in with my soft suede, and I'm going to go all the way around, because soft suede and crumb cake are like made for each other. If you want to give something a bit of a vintage look, you can really throw some soft suede around the edges, and it just looks really, really great. So I'm going to zip around and do that. Now, because this color is, you could have this on a white card base, but I was thinking it might be nice on a vanilla card base, because it's kind of got all those brownie tones in it. So I think vanilla would work really well in this case. What do you guys think? Do you agree? So you don't get much more simple than just stamping on a piece of paper and just enjoying the process of putting your stamps wherever you want to put them. And I think that that would be really nice. Now, if you wanted to, and I'm going to because I like it, I'm going to go a little bit crazy with my soft suede. So let me grab a blending brush that is kind of the right color, and I'm going to actually add a little bit over the corners. All right, so I'm going to pick it up straight off the ink pad, okay, and I'm going to really start to get a bit of color happening. Can you see how this starts to take on a really nice look? Now, if you had the other thing you could do, those dots would have looked really, really good embossed in gold. And that would be another lovely thing to do. Here we are. This is how this is looking. Isn't it nice? Just super, super, super simple. And we love that. A bit of stamping on cardstock. Can't get much easier. Grunge it up. Yep, that's it. It feels good, right? Crumb cake base as well. Yes, we could do a crumb cake base as well, or vanilla. So shall we try both and see what looks good? All right, I have got a piece of crumb cake that I had already cut, but I will also go and grab a piece of vanilla, because that sort of only occurred to me while I was doing this, but I think white wouldn't be quite right. All right, so this is how that would look on the crumb cake. The other thing we could do is we could put a mat behind, which is like a black mat. If you wanted to make it stand out more, you could do that. Or we could just leave it like that. Looks good, doesn't it? Isn't it nice? And then I've got my very vanilla cardstock here. I've got a piece already cut. So we could do this and possibly use a black mat behind, because I've cut this. This is actually a little smaller than regular card size. So it's 9.5 centimeters by 13.8. And normal card size is 10 by 14.3. So it's half a centimeter smaller on each side than usual. Okay. Actually, you know what? I hadn't even heard him until you said that, Michelle. No, I've heard him. When he does yell, you really can tell. So, yeah. Oh, red mat, says Kelly. That's a nice idea. Cherry cobbler mat. Yes, we could do that. All right, and this is what it would look like on the vanilla. I'm just going to give you guys another option. Options are fun, right? So that's what it would look like on the vanilla. But I'm thinking I do agree with Kelly that it looks really, really good on the crumb cake. And shall we try? We could leave it as it is because we've edged all the way around. So you don't actually have to have a mat. If you don't have a mat, it will still look great. All right. Soft suede mat, says Roseanne, on the crumb cake base. The same as the berries. Yep, that would look really, really good. Yes, yeah, rustic metallic dots would be lovely. That'd be a great. In fact, if we were going to add bling, that would be a really good choice, because they're kind of almost a soft suede color. Look at them. There they are. Shall we add some of those? What do you think? I'm going to grab out some cherry cobbler. Oh, the other color that would look really good would be Merry Merlot. Merry Merlot might be a good choice. It's close to cherry cobbler, but it's a little bit more. So this is Merry Merlot, okay? It's close, but it would work really well, because when you stamp the cherry cobbler on the crumb cake, it is a little bit more towards this color. So I'm actually leaning towards the Merry Merlot rather than the cherry cobbler, which it all looks good. It looks great. It's just a different option. I'm going to show you the difference. So this is the cherry cobbler. I want to show you the difference in these colors. All right. Can you see the difference? So the cherry cobbler is more red. The Merry Merlot is more muted. But I am wondering if that might be a better choice for this. What do we think, guys? The Merlot does look good, doesn't it? Jodie needs bling. I know. She can't help herself. Absolutely right. Yep. All right. I'm swinging over to the Merry Merlot. I hope everyone's okay with that, but that's the color I think we need to go with tonight, because I think it's going to really, with the vintage look of this, it looks great. Whereas this is a little bit more red, which is also look good, but I think this is a bit more, I don't know, this is a bit classier, don't you think? The other option I had was black, okay? It would look nice on black as well, of course. But I think something different, Merry Merlot. Let's give that a try. Merry Merlot's a really interesting color. I don't use it very often, which is silly because I really like it. I do really like it for, you know, when you want to have more of a vintage kind of a look. So this is going to be 14.3 by 10 centimeters, okay? Which is my normal card front size, or if I'm going to use a mat, the size I would cut for a mat, which is what we're doing. So, all right, so let's see how this looks. Oh, I do like it. What do you think? Do we like this? I think it's the go. It does. Yep. All right. We will miss you when you're away. When are you going and where? Where are you off to? Or are you just threatening us? Going to use some seal just to pop this on. This is the end of my seal. Look at that. Can you see I've got my red strip here? That's the end. But that's okay, because seal is really, really easy. You just pull it apart, literally pull it apart, take this out. And then I grab another one. Give me a second. Here's one. And open it up. Personally, I prefer Stampin' Seal over Stampin' Seal Plus. I know the Plus is the stronger one, but I find Seal completely strong enough for everything I need it for. When you go to put this in, okay, it's got 2 holes here on the one side. So it's going to go into the one that has the little pegs to put the holes on, right? So you can see through from the back if you turn it over. So you put that straight onto where it goes there. So this bit is sticking out at the front, and then we just pop this on. That's literally how easy it is to put this together. Super, super easy. Oh, so nice of me, isn't it? Gosh, if I sent it now, it would just about get over to you in New Zealand by the time you came home. How long are you away? All right, let's pop this straight on here. I'm glad we chose this color. This was a good choice. Thanks, everyone, for helping me decide. And then we're going to add some of these because we can. I'm going to pop a couple on. So I'm going to pop one here and maybe a couple of smaller ones. One up here, I need a sentiment, and another one up the top. And yes, I should be using my turkey pick tool for this, but I've just totally forgotten to use my fingers instead. All right, so we're going to pop that on the crumb cake base, and I think this was a good choice. I should do a challenge sometime for everybody and say use a color that you don't use very often. And Mary Merlot would be a color that might feature in mine because I don't use it often enough, because when I do use it, I really like it. All right, just a simple stamped card with a bit of grunging and some nice mixing up of greens, some berries, and just really, really basic. Do we like this? How easy was that? Oh, thank you. Hey, Ellen, nice to see you. How funny. Ellen and I were comparing notes during the week, and I told her I was going out to dinner last night. And we don't go out to dinner very often. It's been a long time since I've been out. And I said, she said, oh, I'm going out to dinner too. And I said, oh, where are you going? Well, of course, we're going to the same place, weren't we? Slightly different times. I was there at 6. She was there at 6:30, but we got to see each other, which was really nice because we don't always see each other in person. Quite often we're just talking on the phone or seeing each other online, but it was very nice. All right, I'm going to clean up these couple of stamps. I still use, for anyone who wonders, I still use my good old Stampin' Scrub for most of my cleaning jobs. I do use the chamois if I'm using, maybe trying to clean a stamp on the Stamparatus, or if I'm traveling, it's a little easier to travel with the chamois, but I still love my Stampin' Scrub. So one side has the little sun on it. This is the side that you use to clean your stamp, and this one has the beg your pardon, this one has the water drops. This is where you clean. This one has the sun. This is where you dry. So didn't end up using that one, so I don't have to clean it. Oops, pop straight off. Doesn't want to stay on, that one. If ever your photopolymer stamps lose their stick, as that one nearly has, you can refresh them somewhat by giving them a wash in warm soapy water. Did you know that? Because that's a really great little tip of keeping your photopolymer stamps as fresh as you can, and with some stick still there so they stick to your blocks. If you get really, really desperate and you haven't got time to do that and it's coming off the blocks, you can be naughty and whack a little bit of seal on the block and stick it to the seal. I do that sometimes because anything's better than a stamp that comes off the block. I hate it when that happens. I like the smell of it too. I always have. It's a really nice smell. Now, I'm sorry. It says Minnie Mate. Do I call you Minnie? Is that what I call you? I'm so sorry. You use the Stampin' Scrub too. Do you know, I haven't, in case you don't know me well, this was my first ever purchase from Stampin' Up, was a Stampin' Scrub. I saw it at my very first workshop that I went to and thought to myself, I love that. I can see that that would be such a useful thing. My daughter could even use that when she stamps with me. She was 3 and she used to stamp and I'd just clean the stamps. That's all I'd get to do. I wouldn't get to do any stamping myself. So as soon as I bought the scrub, she could use it and she loved it. So it was such a good investment. And then the second thing I bought from Stampin' Up was the demonstrator kit, because I decided right then and there that that looked like too much fun and I really, really wanted to do it. I had taken up papercraft, particularly scrapbooking. I'd taken that up because I had postnatal depression after the birth of my daughter. My first child. When I had Ben, not so much. He was born 3 years later and I coped much better. I had better systems in place by then, and so it was a much better run. But it was a bit of a rough time with the first one. And so I got into papercraft, and the doctors had said, find something just for you. So here's that escapism again, right? And so I did, and I loved it from the beginning. And as soon as I went to my first Stampin' Up workshop, I was hooked. I just was like, this has got my name all over it. I love, love, love it. It's been over 16 years for me, and I still love it. I still love it as much as ever. I can't imagine ever not doing this, ever. And that's a lot, because up until then I hadn't stayed in a job very long. Really, the longest job I ever had was about 4 years. and I moved around a lot, this job, that job, doing different things in customer service particularly, and then some training jobs. But nothing really set me on fire like this. Just love it. And right now, for anyone who doesn't know, if you are thinking you'd like to join as a demonstrator, even if it's just to get your own discount on your products, you can actually join right now for a whole lot less because it's a great deal. But tomorrow is the last day of the deal. So if you've been thinking about it, jump on in tomorrow. You can either reach out to me and send me a message. Here's the deal. It's $169 and you get to pick $283 worth of product. I mean, that's $114 worth of free stuff right there, which is fantastic. And you can put whatever you like in the kit. There is no restrictions. And I think sometimes maybe people don't join because I've got customers that spend more than that every month. And I think, really, why don't you just join and get a discount, guys? But, of course, that's their choice. They can do that if they wish. Having said that, I think maybe sometimes people don't join because they think that there's a contract or they're going to be locked into something. And actually, you can, if it's not for you, you just drop anytime you want to. So I think that's pretty cool. I think it's very cool. It is a perfect therapy. Minnie, you are absolutely right. Hey, Tina, nice to see you. I hope you like the card. Okay, so what do you spray on the Stampin' Scrub to clean your stamps? This is the Stampin' Scrub, and this is what they call Stampin' Mist. Okay, now these days Stampin' Mist comes, I think it just comes now in the big bottle, which is actually a much better value because this used to be, it's not now. I don't think you can buy these now, but it's $7.95. They used to be for years and years and years. But the big bottle was like $17 for like 5 times as much. So it's always been a better value to buy the big bottle. And the big bottle comes with this little squirter thing on top, and you just spray it on one side. And this is the mist that we were saying, Sally, that it smells really good. I really like the smell of it. So you spray it on the one side, and then you clean your stamps, and then you dry them off on the other side. And if this gets dirty, every now and then you give it a clean. And I just go and stick mine under the tap, literally, and rub it until it comes clean, until the water runs clear. Really, really easy to clean and look after. And then I stick it out in the sun. I blot it with a towel and I stick it in the sun to dry. So, oh no, the mist is fine for photopolymer stamps. What isn't great, Vicky, to use for photopolymer stamps is Stays On Cleaner. Okay, so the mist is very gentle, so it's good for all stamp types and everybody can use it. So no, that's incorrect. However, the Stays On Cleaner, this stuff, I don't like to use this on my photopolymer stamps because over time I do believe it will break them down. I have been told that. So I like to, yes, the clock, is the clock, are you wondering whether we're going back? We've actually just went forward, Tina. We went forward and started daylight saving at the beginning of October. So that might be, yeah. Is that what you're saying there, Ellen? Saying that you shouldn't use on photopolymer, same as me, the Stays On Cleaner. That is correct. Okay, so I use that's why I don't very often use Stays On with photopolymer stamps. I use Stays On with my rubber stamps because I know the cleaner that I can use on the rubber stamps, it won't hurt them. Okay, they're going to be completely fine, but I don't like using the Stays On Cleaner on my photopolymer stamps. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? I hope that makes sense. So I hope that sets you right, Vicky, because, yeah, that's not correct. The mist is fabulous. It's gentle and for use on all types of stamps. Okay. Have I missed any questions or anything? I'm just looking back to see it because I can see I was busy and I missed quite a few things. The food and drink were yummy last night. Yes, Ellen, you are absolutely correct. So it was a real treat to go out. And, yeah. Oh, yes. The old scrubs did have the problem with the plastic hinges, and they did used to break if you weren't careful, or if you dropped it or something like that. I've had this one ever since they released these. I don't know if you can see. Can you see it's got like a metal pin? Can you see? Oh gosh, I can't get it in the right place. It's got a metal pin there at the end in the hinge, and this has been rock solid. I haven't had any problems with this one at all. So I don't know if that helps. Yeah, that would be sad though if it broke. I had a couple break back in the day as well. Yep, that's good too. Michelle's saying she uses the chamois for her normal inks and then scrub for Versamark or pigment ink. I use my scrub for all of it. And even white ink, because it's easy to, yeah, like you say, you rinse it off and it comes off pretty well. So, yeah. So, yes, it is okay to use StazOn Stampin' Mist on the photopolymer stamps, but I would avoid using StazOn. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. Okay. Going through. So what have you been using? Have you just been using a chamois to clean your stamps because you didn't want to use the mist? Is that right? I would go right ahead and use that mist. Not only does it smell good, it does a really good job of cleaning. It's really good. Daylight saving is different in the two hemispheres. So what happens, Sean, is that we end up changing by 2 hours, because if we go forward, we know what time it is, and then we go forward an hour and you guys go back an hour, all of a sudden we now have a 2-hour difference. So it's 2 hours different to what it was before. And when it goes back the other way, then it goes back 2 hours in the other direction. So yeah. So there we go. Yeah, you're very welcome. I hope that's useful. All right, so let's do one more. And this time I've actually gone ahead and I have already cut some of the labels from before, because I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use, and I figured, well, you know, let's just go ahead and see which looks good. And I could use the Christmas to Remember set again, or I could use the Framed and Festive set. So either way. And I'm thinking maybe I'm going to use this one. But I've decided sometimes as I'm working, I have a change of heart about what I wanted to do. I was going to do it on a different color background, but I've made up my mind. I'd now like to do it on a soft succulent background. So I'm going to cut a piece of soft succulent, because you know how it is. I like to make it up as I go along. Occasionally, I know exactly what I'm going to do in advance, but that doesn't happen very often. But that's okay. And we're going to go 14.3 by 10. We're doing the standard card front size. All right. So this is going to go on here. I'm going to go landscape this time. And this time I'm going to do it a little differently. I'm going to actually, we're going to use our white card. Give me a second. And I'm actually going to stamp some pieces from the stamp set. Don't know what's going on with me lately. I actually have put that stamp set away that we just used. And I don't know what I am thinking about. Actually, you know, I have a black one here, and if I decide to emboss, we might go with the black. I don't know. We'll see. The white looks good too. The white is quick and easy if you just want to stamp. If you want to emboss, the black looks great. It's very effective. All right, so my choices are, I can have my bits and pieces, my fronds, coming out from underneath my label, okay, or I can have my labels going around the outside. So I'm deciding which way to go, and I'm thinking maybe for this one we'll do them coming out from behind the label, and then maybe next time I might do one where they come from the outside. So we've got a couple of different sizes of pine cones. We've got the big pine cone, this one, which has a detail stamp and an understamp, and this one, which has a detail stamp and an understamp, but these are little and these are bigger. Okay, so I'm going to go with the smaller ones because I think they're rather good. And I'm going to pop them on blocks, and I'm actually going to be putting them straight onto I'm going to put them straight onto some white cardstock. So I'm going to have to cut that down. So we'll cut this in half at the 14.8 mark, because 14, that size fits nicely. Half a sheet of A4 fits nicely on your cut and emboss machine, so that makes that work well. So I'm going to use crumb cake and soft suede because they go really nicely together, as we already established last time. And I'm going to use the thicker, like more solid one. I'm going to do that in crumb cake, like so. And then I'm going to use my detail one, pop it on the block so it stays. Yes. And sometimes I think, Michelle, you're saying you can use Stays On Cleaner as long as you rinse it off straight away, but I don't trust myself. Sometimes I get involved in a project and I don't do it straight away. All right, can you see how nice that detail looks? Oh, there it goes over the top of the other. It looks really, really good. So it looks quite realistic when you stamp them together. I'm actually thinking I might do two. I don't know if I'm going to use them both or not, but it doesn't hurt. I can always use it for another project if I don't use it on this one. All right, so it's a two-step stamp that you get that lovely detail over the top of the solid stamp below. Looks really good. All right, happy with those. Now in our seasonal labels dies, we've got some different ones. So we have some different leaves which look really, really good. I'm going to use probably both of those. And this one cuts out the pine needles, and this one cuts out the holly. So I think the holly is a really great one, very Christmassy. And then we can also have that on some berries. I might end up cutting those. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not sure if I'm going to cut them or not, but we'll see. So I'm going to pop this one, and then we'll decide as we go along which ones look really, really cool. I'm going to go with my Evening Evergreen. Can you see the detail on this? And it's really, really nice. Look at, oh, hang on. I'm terrible at getting it in the camera. It's like, it's, you guys must be nearly seasick by the time I try and get this close. There we go. I've almost got it close enough. But yeah, the detail in that is really cool. All right. Hey, Monique. Nice to see you. Oh, yes, the detail embossed in gold. That's a great idea. I didn't do that tonight, but that is a really nice idea. And we might do, we might do a smaller one with, I think, this little guy here. We'll do that in soft suede. And I might do two of those because I don't know if I want one or two. So I'm making sure I leave enough room between them so when I cut them out, they will work well. Now I am going to go with the darker. Oh, no, you know what? I'm not. I'm going to go with Garden Green for my holly. Let's put that on a bigger block. Now these are a bit more solid, so for those I'm actually going to put a mat underneath so that it stamps a little better. So I'm going to pop that under there. There we go. And okay, I'm happy with that. Now I am going to be using this on here, but I'm actually going to do a little bit of stamping on the green itself, and then we'll add the rest. Okay, so I'll cut these out first. So let me move a couple of things out of the way. And let's see how we go. I'm going to have to zoom out so you can see what's happening. Right. Okay, So I've got my base plate here. So for anyone who hasn't seen, this is our cut and emboss machine. It's very similar to the old Big Shot. I do really, really love this machine. I think it's fantastic. Actually, while I'm thinking of it, I'm thinking I might add... Did I put the berries on or do I leave them in? No, they're still in here. I'm going to cut those out as well. And guess what? I think we might do them in Merry Merlot. What do you think? Let's just start with that because I loved that last time. I thought that looked so good. Do a couple of those. So you can really get creative with this. You know, you can do as much or as little as you like. It's very, very easy to use. A great set for, like I said the other night, some sets are just really easy to use. This is one of them. Okay. I feel the same way about the set we used, the Holly Berry dies and the Leaves of Holly set. I felt the same way about that. I'm going to start with a couple of those dies. I've got a small pine cone here as well, so let's line that up, and then we'll just pop this on top, run it through. I don't like to, I could put more on and do them all at once, but then there's a higher likelihood of something moving, and I'd rather just do a few at a time. So the nice thing about the Holly dies is that you cut both at the same time because the stamps are meant to cut it both at once. We have, line up this again. So I've done one card super simple. I did this on purpose. Okay, the other one is a little bit more work involved and a bit more equipment involved as well. But how cool, if you're not aware of this, if you do love the idea of joining with the demonstrator kit, you could get one of these cut and emboss machines in your kit and then still have money left over to buy dies and other bits and pieces. Okay, so that's a really good deal right now, guys. And tomorrow's the last day, so please reach out. Don't be contacting me on Tuesday and saying, oh, I wish I had done that, because tomorrow's the last day. Right, so we've nearly got all of these cut out. Even doing them a couple, like just a few at a time, it doesn't take very long. I've got two more. Let me see, I've got one more of these. And one more of the berries. Where did I put my berry die? Okay, did anyone see where it went? Goodness, here it is. Found it. Stop looking. All right, that looks good. The other thing is, I hope that we don't get interrupted, because guess who forgot to put their phone in Do Not Disturb before this started? So if I got a phone call tonight, it would mess us up. So normally I remember to put my Do Not Disturb on, and then we don't have that problem. Now, one last thing. There is a stamp in here. This one here. See this little tiny weeny like little branch? That is actually what the berries are meant to fit on, and they fit perfectly on this piece. Okay, I didn't use it, but I'm thinking maybe I will, just in case we decide to use that one. So let me grab another small block. It's kind of good having a few blocks that are smallish in size, because if you're doing a lot of stamping like this, it's nice to be able to not have to change your blocks all the time. So isn't that a funny little stamp? It really is a funny little stamp. But it's actually meant to be the stem that the berries are meant to go on. But you can put them anywhere, actually. But they do look really cute on there. And then, of course, there's a die for that. So you could just cut them out, but I think dies are so much easier. There is a die for that. Where is it? So this one actually has, I don't know if you can see this, it has the space for the berries as well. So you can put the berries straight on, or you can cut them separately like what I just did. Who has this set? Anyone have it? Thanks everyone for helping me. I did find it. And I just had a message pop up on my screen that said from Pinterest. It says still searching, and I don't think it knows that I was searching for something. I think it thinks I was looking for something on Pinterest, but yeah, it's very appropriate, don't you think? Okay, let's see what we have. I'm going to put all the dies just here in a little pile. Actually, you know what I need to be doing with my dies? I'm so naughty. I keep forgetting to use it. So I've got my little mechanics magnetic, and they'll all just sit in there, and then they won't float around and get lost. So that's what I should be doing, right? That's where they should be going. So hopefully you can see what I mean now. If I wanted to, I could now grab my Merry Merlot and put these straight on here. Goes that way. Like that. See how good that looks? And I'll zoom back in. It is a gorgeous set. I know, right? Really, really good. Okay, so it looks good. It looks good like this, but then it also looks good if you just pop your berries over the top as well. So you can do it either way. So take your pick, really. All right, so let's see. We've got this piece here. And did we end up deciding whether we are going to just stamp on this piece and have all of our bits and pieces popping out? So you can see how nice this is. So, you know, this is the kind of thing I'm thinking of doing, right? Like this, and then a little greeting here in the middle, okay? And then we can also have some other bits and pieces coming out of this side. Or if we wanted to, we could have it, you know, we could have some more stamping here. I am going to add some stamping, but we also need to decide whether we're just going to stamp on this or whether we're going to emboss on black. The black might be really dramatic and might look really good. Let me see. I'm thinking about popping one of these on. I'm not going to need this one again, so I'm going to clean that one and use this one. And I'm thinking I'm going to do that in garden green. All right, so I'm looking. Should I stamp with embossing over the top? You could. That would be nice. Gold embossed greeting on the white, says Michelle, or copper. Oh, copper would be nice. Oh, there you go. There's a nice idea. Okay, you may have sold me on that. You know I love black and copper, right? There's a whole bunch of different things we could do with that. If we're using the Christmas to Remember set, I want something that's not too big because I want it to sort of go in the middle, and then I could have these guys arranged next to it. The Holly Jolly Christmas might work really well. 'Tis the Season in the middle would work well. I'm thinking Holly Jolly Christmas. Or we could just go with a Merry Christmas or Season's Greetings. Can you colour the white tag? Yes, I could. I emboss I usually emboss in either the metallics or the basics, which is white, black, and clear, because that's what we have. But yes, you can emboss in color, but I don't do it very often. The black is better, says Megan. Okay, we're going to go with the black. Have a holly jolly Christmas, says Michelle. So we're going to go with that. Here it is. And let's pop it here on this block. Have a holly jolly Christmas. You didn't know that we were going to be singing today, did you? All right, so we're going to get our Versamark out. And we're going to ink that up. Now, I'm going to grab, because I'm doing this, I'm going to grab my embossing kit. Because it's got an embossing buddy in it. And I'm just looking to see where my copper, got all the colours. Okay, here's some copper. Okay, here is the kit. All right. Oh, I had another Versamark in here. This one's newer. I should have used that one. I will use that one. Put the lid back on here. And I'm going to ink it up on this one because it's a newer Versamark. And I want to make sure I get a really good clear image. All right. Now I've got my embossing buddy. This is in the kit. And I'm going to wipe that over just to make sure that none of our powder is going to stick where it shouldn't. And then I'm going to stamp this in the middle. Like this. The honest answer is, Megan, I just buy a new one. You know, the re-inker, I did do some re-inking, and I actually over re-inked once, and I ended up with a giant mess. And after that, I just decided it was just as easy and not that much more expensive to just buy another one. That's just a personal thing. You know, obviously people can get the refills if they want to, but I haven't had a lot of luck with the refills, and I prefer not to worry. So I'm using the tray. I'm just going to take the little doobie off, and I'm going to set this in the tray. And I've got some brand new copper. It's in my pack of metallics here. That one, copper. And the copper will look really nice. Gold would look nice too. So we're going to dip that on. It looks brown when you put it on, like chocolate powder. Don't make that mistake. Don't put that on your coffee. All right. And I have got, I'm just going to use, there is a brush in this kit, but it's over on the other table. So I'm just going to use the brush I have sitting here on the desk, which will do the same job. For anyone who doesn't have this kit, if you do a lot of embossing, it's a great little kit, and it really will help you keep everything contained. All right. And that happened. I got some marks there on this because I pushed quite hard onto my Versamark and ended up with more than what I really needed. So I over-inked my stamp. But it's easy enough to get rid of it. So then I'm going to turn this up and put all the excess back into the jar. Put the plug back on. There we go. It's a cool little kit. We used to have those trays years and years ago, so some of you may already have them. Yeah, copper is a great color for Christmas, and copper always looks good with black. I don't know what it is. It just looks amazing. Always, always. All right, let me grab my heat tool. So for those of you who don't have one of these, fabulous, fabulous things, and you can do so much with your embossing and a heat tool. Right, let's heat this up. actually helps if I let go. All right, so this is looking very nice. Okay, look how good it looks straight away. And can you see the lovely message? It's all shiny now. It's very pretty. Okay, all right, so I'm going to be putting this, and I'm going to go right ahead straight away. Actually, before I do that, I am going to be putting this in the center, and we're going to have it landscape. So I'm actually going to, first of all, though, stamp a couple of garden green, which is going to be stand out quite a lot against the soft succulent cardstock. But I'm going to have a couple of these coming out. And I just want to make sure that I'm, because I can kind of play around with this. This is going to, they're just going to poke out a little bit here and there. That'll do for now. Maybe one more. I can't help myself. One more. There we go. Like this. Okay. And then I'm going to actually go ahead then and stick it down. So I'm going to use some dimensionals. And we can use white ones, or we could use black ones, of course, because I'm only going to use a couple, though. I'm not going to use them really close to the edges because I want to be able to throw some of these things underneath potentially. So we're going to stick that there. And then we're going to start playing around with these. Deciding where I would like it to go. And because this one is going to go underneath, and I have plenty of room because I didn't put my dimensionals too close. What do you think? That kind of looks cute, doesn't it? We do need some holly though. And that's going to go right there like that. All right. Or we can have it going over here. The whole thing anyway. You get the idea. This is very easy once you've got all the pieces cut out. It's really easy to put it together. I'm going to pop some glue dots. You could use any glue you like, but I personally prefer glue dots when I'm doing this kind of thing. Yep. And you can also add dimensionals behind some of the elements. So you've got elements at different heights, which looks really good. So just one glue dot behind this is going to make it sit up a little higher. And then we'll have haven't looked at the comments for a while because I've been busy. I know they are really good tweezers, really, really good. Oh, that's a good idea to use them for tying ribbon. I like that idea. And then maybe some berries. So let's throw those right there. And a bit of holly. Like that. And then maybe another one up the top. And I'm going to cover, I don't want to cover up all of that pine cone, but I am sort of going to cover up some of it. And I'm not going to have quite as much going on up here in the other corner. I think the holly and the berries are what make it look really Christmassy, don't you think? Oh, yes. Rustic dots. And we can do those in copper as well. And maybe just some dots. We could have them on one of the pieces, or we can just have them coming out here. And yes, I agree. We do need some rustic dots. Totally. So let's throw those on a block here. And I'm going to use and close that up. Use some Versamark here. And we're just going to have a few here and there. Now, it's not really ideal to be throwing embossing powder when I've got all these elements on here, but that's okay. I'm just going to be careful, and we're going to do our best with them and see how they go. They may not be perfect, but that's going to be okay. I just want to get a little bit of kind of a blingy look to them. Where did I put the copper embossing powder? There it is. All right, so we'll do these ones in the corner first and see how we go with those. And it doesn't matter. I'm just being careful where it doesn't matter if they're not everywhere. I just want to have like a little hint of bling. So I'm going to start with those. We're going a bit long tonight. I'm sorry about the extra time. I hope no one was on a time crunch. You can always come back and watch the replay later. But that looks really nice. Can you see the copper on that? Can you see it? Why am I so awkward when it comes to whoop, I need to put that back in. Now this time I might do a couple at a time. Those ones. Those ones. There we go. It's a cute little stamp, that, the little dots. And then I think we might add, I was thinking, some champagne rhinestones, because they've got kind of a copper look to them as well. So what do you think? I think I have some. I'll check my embellishment box. I'm pretty sure I have some of those. Put that lid back on. And see, we have no mess. No mess on the table because we used our kit. Okay. All right, it's looking good. Now I haven't done anything around the outside, and I feel like maybe I should, either in the Evening Evergreen, which is the darker green, or the what do you call it? Soft succulent itself. But I think the soft succulent won't give me as it won't be quite as, it won't stand out as much. Let me find my champagne rhinestones. One last thing too I haven't talked about tonight, but it's kind of important because it's happening, is this month we did, for those of you who are with me, the easel cards, and we had the tutorials available for sale. They are still available for sale on my blog. If you go, let me just quickly put up the blog address in case you're interested. And they are $20 to buy the tutorials. There are 6 different tutorials, including the live tutorial that anyone can watch. That one's a freebie, but then there's another 5 in the tutorials that you get. Let me see. There it is. That's my blog address up there on the website, on the page right now. and you can go there and you can purchase. There's I've got it set up as a page up the top, tutorials for sale, or you can just go to the most recent blog post that's in there as well. Where are my rhinestones? I know I bought some. And I was just thinking about using them while I was doing this. I might have to add that later because they're not immediately jumping out at me in my big box of embellishments at the moment. So I may have to come back and do those a little later because they're not where I thought they were. You could add some ribbon or something like that, but I feel like this is probably enough. And let's just put it on a basic white thick card base, which I have right here. I'm going to use my bone folder to fold that in half, and that's going to sit right on there. Now I'm not going to put it on because I am actually going to use my evening evergreen and edge it before I do it. But anyway, that gives you an idea of what we did. So what I wanted to say was I have announced on Friday night the theme for next month's craft along, which will be in November. I need to look at my calendar. I believe it is the last or second last weekend of November, so I will tell you for certain what that is. But the theme is magical masking techniques, and we're going to be doing a whole bunch of different things with masking to show you lots and lots of different ways to create like scenes and create all sorts of different effects on your cards with masking, which is a fantastic technique and not very often shown. So that's what I'm going to be doing in my class next month. So it's the craft along. Everybody can watch it. You don't have to pay to attend. You can just watch. If you're in my team, you're going to get the tutorials that I'll have available afterwards for free. And if you have placed an order during the month of October, which of course finishes tomorrow, if you've placed an order over $60 this month with me, you're going to get the supply packet in the mail to make the project with me. Okay, so tomorrow's the last day to jump on that. And for anyone who's already placed an order this month, you can look forward to that coming your way in the next couple of weeks. So that's kind of exciting. All right, let me take off the banner and go back to the chat and see if I've missed anything. Oh, you're very welcome. I went a little bit over time tonight, but I hope that there are metallic gems, and I could use those as well. The brush metallic gems would also look really nice, and they've got copper in them. But I had my heart set on using the rhinestones, and that's why I probably shouldn't have had my heart set on them. But anyway, I will find them probably as soon as this live is over, and you know how that works, right? But they're the brush metallic gems are also really, really good for this kind of thing, and there is copper in there. So, but I tend to use those up first because I love the copper. I love it, especially with the black. So, yeah. Well, thank you for joining me tonight, guys. We did 2 fun cards. I'm really liking both of them. I really liked the first one we did. Let me just grab it. If anyone has any questions about anything, we used the Christmas season stamp set tonight and the matching dies, which are called seasonal labels, which are just fantastic. And I have had so much fun using these last year and this year. So, yeah, they're pretty fantastic. Still available. The stamp set and dies are in the annual catalogue. The paper, the matching paper, which I didn't use tonight, that's in the mini catalogue. Okay, so you guys have a great week. Oh, that's okay, Kelly. Never mind. You can always go back and watch the replay. These are the cards we made tonight. So I hope you have a great week, guys. See you next Friday night. Go check out the YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed over there, please do that. Or if you'd like to be part of my newsletter, you can go to the blog that's on the screen right now and sign up over there for my newsletter. So I hope to have you join me, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.